Hi, this is Bruce Decker, and you're watching Cloudstreet Portal 5.3 Introduction, the new way to portal. What we'll cover in this presentation is the problem with portals, a new approach, an example portal, creating your first document, and what customers are saying. So what makes portals expensive? Well, it really boils down to the fact that we involve programmers that are somewhat expensive, and it takes a lot of time. So we spend this time and this money in the design and build phase of our portal, when we want to enhance it, and also when we go to secure and update the portal over time. All these things add up to a pile of money. And so what we want to do with Cloudstreet Portal is eliminate that. So Cloudstreet Portal is a portal tool designed for business people. No programmer is required for most tasks. It has an intuitive visual page design tool that allows you to build out your portal without code. You can go from idea to live within minutes. We have pre-built and do-it-yourself integrations with virtually any business system. Cloudstreet Portal is simple to manage, self-service, has tons of user comfort features right out of the box, and everything's included: hosting, software, upgrades, site backups, and even example templates and programming examples if you're a programmer to get you started. We offer what are called connected documents, and whatever the user needs is simply a click away. If we look at how that works, you have your business system and it's going to produce transactions. These transactions are usually represented in the form of a document. Examples of these would include invoices, statements, orders, etc. When we drop a document onto the portal, it automatically detects the type of document, and it will automatically send notifications out to the users of the portal that have expressed interest and have been approved for access to that document type. It will also allow those users or your internal knowledge workers to develop workflows around that document. You can add notes, for example. You can describe a task which needs to be performed, and you can route those tasks to various users of the portal. We also have related documents. So, for example, if you push a statement up to the portal, the statement may consist of a number of invoices that it references. So if you're viewing the statement, you should be able to click on an invoice on the statement document and automatically be linked to the related invoice. This is much more convenient for the end user. But you can also link other types of information that may not even be stored on the portal. For example, you could access a tracking system, such as a FedEx or a UPS tracking system, and be able to reference tracking information related to that document. Or you might have a signature and scanning solution that's related to that invoice, and you could incorporate the image or the signature which was captured and embed that directly into the portal document. We also could relate our document to other types of information, such as product information management systems rich content, such as product spec sheets or safety data sheets, or instructions on how to install or assemble the product, could all be incorporated and related to the products on an invoice, for example. But you can go beyond that because we're not limited to simply invoices and statements. You can produce reports and dashboards and status information, or virtually anything you can think of through the Cloudstreet Portal system. In addition, another helpful feature is to be able to relate to other services. So for example, your bank may offer you the ability to accept credit cards and ACH payments against documents or transactions. So it would be very handy to link in the payment capability offered by your bank directly into the invoice to make it very convenient for users to pay for statements and invoices through the portal. We also have ready-made integrations from our partner Fuse Payments, and they have systems already available that integrate directly to credit card payment processors, ACH processors, and are based on the Paya payment platform. In addition, they offer services such as printing in envelopes and mailing those. So if you need to produce physical documents that are mailed out to your customers, then Fuse might be an excellent option. And again, we already have the integrations available with Fuse. So let's look at what we call dynamic documents. And these, again, are very different than static documents. Static documents, an example would be a PDF of a invoice, for example. There's nothing much you can do with that other than look at it. This is very different. This is a dynamic interactive document that's intuitive, ingenious, and addictive. And addictive is the key word because the more features we provide to our end users, the more they want to use the portal. So here's an example order document. And the first thing you'll notice is that this document is tabbed, and we have related information to this document that's expressed within these tabs. So the first tab is showing simply the order, which is proper. But if we click on order history, we can see that we are also giving the user additional information. What did you buy in the past? Which is a common question that's asked. What did I order 2 months ago? I can't remember what it was. Well, right here, it's automatically related and offered. In addition, we can offer things like internal notes on a tab. So you can simply click on the tab and you can see all the notes related to it. And you can decide who has access to these notes. These could be offered only to customer service reps, or you could also show those to end user customers if you wished. We also have the ability to link, such as with a user's application. In this case, it's an email client. And so we set this up through the template, again, without coding, that we were going to put this little icon here to represent how to access customer service. And if a user links on it, or clicks on it rather, we're going to link and call the user's email client. And so we've called up the email client. And what typically happens on most portals is you click on it and then it just says, hey, would you like to talk to us about something? And you rely on the end user to give you all the detail that's necessary for you to be able to service that request. And that's not always a good idea to leave that in the hands of the end user. So in this case, without coding, we've taken information which we know, which is related and available in this order document, and we've passed that into the email client. So we know who it's from, we know who we're sending it to. We're going to send it off to the service desk at this particular company. And then we have composed automatically this subject line, which includes the account number and the order number, which is something that people often forget to tell you. And then we've also loaded in a lot of information about this end user of the portal, the person's name, their phone number, what this is about, which document, internal document reference number, and even a link so that when the customer service rep receives this, rather than having to go to the portal and search for it, they can just click on the link and it'll directly load that document automatically, again, saving them time. And of course, the end user could add additional text down below this if they wanted. And again, this is just one example of how we can integrate with something external. Going over here, we've also, in this example, we've linked with the dialer. So if you've called this document up on a cell phone or on a browser that has an associated dialer application, it will load the phone number automatically into the dialer, saving that person a few steps contacting the customer again. We also have what are called smart grids, which are very important. And that's represented down here. And you can see if we click on a heading, we can actually sort this information. So think of this as like a little spreadsheet that's buried right within the invoice itself and allows the user to find exactly what they're looking for. So they could click, for example, on the most expensive part by clicking on the price column, or the shipped quantity, which if I wanted to sort based on the shipped quantity, I could do that. If you have other columns that you've decided to put within here, like product lines or a customer service rep that was in charge of that particular line, that information could be sorted upon. So it's really all available to you and your end users to get at the information you need in a much quicker fashion. Another nice feature, especially for documents that are longer, is being able to filter. You can't do this in a PDF document. You type in, for example, the word Alex here, and it is filtered down and shown only the lines that contain the text Alex. So this is great, especially as I mentioned, if it's like a multi-page document and you want to find the thing that you're looking for, any keyword, and it will only display those line numbers. Again, a feature you don't get if you're looking at a scanned image of a paper document. We also have a link directly to the product. So many times the customers have a question about a product they purchased. This way they can simply call up the invoice or the order on the portal. And if you have provided this linkage to your product information system, e-commerce system, catalog, or other external information, they can get to the additional information they need, such as, what's the planting season, or what are the installation directions, or SDS sheets, or other information that you've stored within the product information system, directly embedded and available simply by clicking on the part number within the invoice itself. And again, the reason we do this, we do all these things, is that the more convenient, the more information we provide, the more addictive these documents become, and the more end users will want to go to the portal rather than calling up your customer service reps. And that's going to save you money and improve customer satisfaction in the long run. Here's another example where we rolled over the shipped information. And in this case, this user or this customer has decided that they would link the shipping information if the user rolls over the shipped quantity. Again, this was done without coding, and it provides another important piece of information that you wouldn't get from a static scan of a PDF. This is a truly dynamic document, and this information is up to date. So this shows that this product was shipped out FedEx for 2621, and the tracking number, here it is. And they went even beyond that. They said, hey, if you click on the actual quantity, we will actually go to the FedEx site and call up this shipment number, and you can actually get the actual status information of when it was delivered. So again, the benefit here is obvious that customers won't call you saying, hey, is that shipped yet? Or hey, is that arrived yet? Or where is it? They can simply go to the document, click on it, and they can get real-time information 24/7. Again, all this related information that we're seeing within this document is what makes Cloudstreet Portal truly unique. So the second question you'll ask is, how do I make these things? You say it doesn't require a programmer, but this looks pretty sophisticated. So let's get into how we do that. The first thing is we need to choose a document. And again, Cloudstreet Portal doesn't really care what type of document that you want to put on it. In this case, we're going to choose invoice as our example because it's something that most people can relate to. So what we're going to do is push these invoices up to the portal, and you may have a method currently for exporting invoice documents, for example, out of your CRM. And if you don't have it, we have a number of integrations already available. Don't worry about having to hire a programmer to do sophisticated things like pushing to endpoints, which is a common way to integrate. You can do it as simply as creating these documents into a folder and zipping them up and dropping them onto an FTP site, which is something that's within the grasp of most end users. And again, we're here to help you if you need some help. You can do this as often as you like. You can do it on each document. You could do it once a day at your end of day. It's completely up to you to decide how often you want to actually push new documents and updated documents up to the portal. The third step is to design your document template. And to do that, we need to log into the portal as an administrator. And when we do that, we will get these options, additional menu options up here, including the Site Admin menu. We're going to choose Site Admin, go to Configuration, and then choose Templates. When we do this, we can see a list of pre-built templates, and we provide a number of these with Cloudstreet Portal that you can base your own templates on. You can modify these, or you can build a new one from scratch by clicking on the New button. But in this demo, we're just going to choose one of the pre-built, and that's going to be this Smythe invoice. So if we call that up, what you'll see here, and this will be visible in your browser, this is a word processor-like document. So you'll see a word processor type menu up here on the top where you can insert and edit and modify certain elements within the document, including things like tables and fonts and colors and all kinds of things that you're used to within a word processing document. So here's an example of, we'll just pump that up a little bit and you'll see the menu up here. You'll see that we have an image tool to drop images in, upload them and load them into the document, or into the template rather. We have a table widget, and you can drag a table and make it any size you want and set colors and backgrounds and fonts and things like that within the table itself. We have hyperlinks, so any text that exists, including placeholder tags, can be hyperlinked, and this is how we built the little link off to a clicking on the product number and calling up a product description page. And if you want to look at the placeholders in more detail, you'll see them here. Really, these are words from your ERP system. In this case, we're saying in the invoice header, insert the customer name here. And these little brackets just mean this is a placeholder tag. So I'm going to put in the name, then we're going to follow that by the address, and then the city, state, and zip. And just by placing these little placeholders and knowing what the names of the words from your transaction document, you start to build out what the template's going to look like. You can also put conditional styling in, and while it's a little hard to see due to the small font size here, I'll just show this off to the right here. You can add conditional styling, for example, if the amount in this row is greater than or less than 0, then make it red. Or if this placeholder is blank, then remove the entire row. Or if the user is not in the employee group, then hide this placeholder altogether. So you could do things like hide the cost column if you didn't want, if the user was not an employee, you don't want them to see cost. So these are some of the ways without programming, and I guess looks a little bit like an Excel formula, that you can start to build in this sort of functionality into your app without becoming a programmer. So the fourth thing we do is we define the document type on the portal. So we now have the document uploaded, we have the document template defined, and now we're going to tie those two together by defining the document type. So again, we log in as the portal administrator, and we have the site admin menu. We come down to configuration again, and this time we're going to do document type. And when we do that, we'll see the document types that are currently defined on the portal. And you can either edit one of them, or you can click Add to create a new document type. So here, we're going to create a new document just as an example. We'll give it a name. So we're going to put an invoice. We're going to say what division of the company this should apply to. In this case, this customer only has one division, so we'll choose it. Then we're going to say, in general, who or what group of users even have eligibility to look at this type of document. So in this case, we're going to say any client's employee. In other words, they have to be validated as an employee of that client, but other than that, they can see this document. Then we're going to come down here and choose the template. So here's our Smythe invoice. And if we want to get fancy, we can get a programmer involved, and as the document loads or as it's been uploaded to the portal, you can fire off various pieces of code which could manipulate things or go grab other pieces of information. So you can get highly custom if you want to, but this is not a requirement. So now that everything is all stitched together, the documents will just appear on the portal when you go to the menu under My Personal Documents. You will then get a view of all the documents that you have privileges or permission to view. And so that's all tied into the particular use of the portal, what document type, what division, and what customer ID they're enabled to see. So assuming that you have those permissions under belt, then this user is seeing a collection of documents that they can view. They can sort just by clicking on a column heading. And if they want to get specific, like I want to find a very particular document because of those words that were fed up to the portal, the filter will automatically be adjusted, and they can then begin to drill down and say, I only want to see documents for Division 1. I only want to see invoices. I only want to see invoices for customer 4567 in this date range with this PO number. You can get on and on and on with the detail, and then the user can filter down and get exactly what they want. And that's particularly handy when customers have lots and lots of documents. So once you get that list narrowed down, the user can click on the magnifying glass and they can actually call that document up. And here's an example of that document. So what the portal has done now is it's combined your data with the template you defined to create a beautiful responsive document that looks great on a cell phone, tablet, or PC. It'll automatically adjust to the size of the device. We can also click on, in this case, this customer wanted internal notes to be related. And so by clicking on the Notes tab, the Notes display actually pops up. And you can see that they're just entering in a little test subject here, but they can add additional ones and they can route them to other people within the organization. The scalable logo is inserted, which we use that little image tool within the template builder to do that. Here's column headings, and one of the nice things here is that these are now clickable columns. So if I click on a column, I can actually sort based on it. You can also filter, as we showed before. You can tell it how many lines to display before it breaks off here into pagination. If the user wants to print it or print to PDF, that's available up here. And showing the example again of hyperlinking off to product information. If we click on this, in this case, it's pulling up information about a disc caliper. We see the technical details, warranty information, other information that's related. And again, it's handy because it's all buried here and related within the invoice in order to get to this information. Again, the more convenience and information we can provide to the end user through these dynamic documents, the more addictive the portal becomes, because this will just become the easier place to go find this information. So now that we have the document on the portal, the communication is actually going to begin. So we have, let's say, invoices being pushed up to the portal. The portal recognizes who's interested in that invoice type for that customer ID, and it will push the notifications off to the appropriate people who have asked to be notified when those documents drop. They can then use their regular browser, cell phone, or tablet and call up that notification email and they'll see a summary. So this is an example where we're pushing notifications once a day, and this is showing the invoices that were pushed up to that customer. And you'll notice this view link over here is handy. Right within the email, they can click on the view link, and then that will call up the portal. So their browser will be summoned and they'll be right back into the document again. So this is handy because you're not pushing PDFs, large PDFs, and sometimes these get blocked by email services. All you're sending out is regular HTML in the email and a hyperlink. And so the other thing this is nice is that only those that are authorized to see these documents are going to see them because you're not actually sending out the documents, you're sending hyperlinks to the documents in your email communication. Makes your email smaller and much easier to get through filtering. So Cloudstreet Portal provides everything you need in one low monthly fee. We give you hosting, we give you the software. There's no fees to pay for software licensing. It's just part of the hosting fee. You can have unlimited document types, unlimited users, and unlimited notifications. We give you technical support. We back up your server for you. We give you these design and administration tools so that most of the tasks that you want to perform, you can do on your own. You don't even need to hire a programmer. We give you 35 gigabytes of storage with the base plan, and that's usually enough for several million documents to be on the portal because of the way we store them. Remember, we're not storing scanned images, we're storing just the raw data of the invoice, and so that we can get a lot more data onto the portal for you. We also give you upgrades and new features when you're a subscriber, and we also allow you to further reduce cost with available integrations so that you can add accounts receivable and accounts payable automation solutions from Fuse and Paya directly into your portal experience. People rave about the product when they use it. They love it. And I've got both highly technical users as well as those who don't program at all. And they're all very happy with the portal experience that they're giving to their users. So what's next? Call us for a free consultation and quote. There's no software to buy. We have monthly plans to fit your budget. No long-term commitments. You can dream up your portal and implement it quickly. So give us a call. We'd love to chat with you and show you how Cloudstreet Portal can be the answer to allowing you to put a truly professional portal that your end users will love up in minutes. Thanks for listening. My name is Bruce Decker. Call me at 303-905-4110 if you have any questions.